All right. So I'll be sure to futz with that later, but the claps should generally help. And other than that,
we're
zhuzh,
back. We're back, dinosaurs.
zhuzh.
Zhooby booby dooby doo. Booby
I'm
booby
just
booby
kind of
boo.
zhuzhing. You know, I bought a new phone for myself as like an anniversary gift for 5 years of being in the Air Force, and I was totally set to have us do video recording for the first time for the podcast, and then friggin' hosting websites just all like, yeah, you gotta pay money. It's like, that's not fair.
New year, new price. Just like your Netflix, if you have T-Mobile, will now have ads, but you'll get Hulu with ads, and Amazon upping by $2.99. The year that streaming dies, 2024.
Yeah, it's just cable. It's always just been cable. It all returns to cable, and it's disgusting. But yes, should we do official introductions here? Happy New Year, everybody! Welcome to the 5th season of the Games with Jon and James podcast. I'm John.
Did you just say the 5th season? This is season 4.
The 5th season, we just moved ahead. We're moving on.
Well, part of my friend, John there, I'm James, with the correct number, which is 4. John failed basic math.
Were you in the Discord group when I said first stream of 2014?
I have no idea what Discord group you are referencing.
Wait, it's funny because I feel like that's everybody and how they feel about it. Anyway, no, it was in QTB in their Discord group, and I was like, "Hey guys, join me for the first stream of 2014. Going to play Sonic Dream Team," and people are just like, "Wait, what? 2014? Oh, wait, oh." And I'm sitting back here like the rhyme was too good. I had to say it.
Go back in time with John to the day when you could still buy a PlayStation 2 at Walmart.
Dang, and PS4 just came out. What I also think is funny is that I inadvertently predicted a TikTok trend because that was a thing that they were doing now where it's like, New Year 2014. It's like, oh god. And they're all in like scene clothes.
Oh my goodness. Well, everybody, as you might have guessed with the not so incoherent, but actually coherent ramblings of us, we're back. We're here for season 4. And it's the start of a new year, which means the start of a lot of hopes and excitement for what we're looking forward to this year and some cool stuff that we'll be doing. John, hit it.
I didn't have my drum set. Hold on a second. Okay. No. But no, I was going to say 2024 is going to be a good year for games. We're going to be talking about that assuredly. But we had ourselves a nice anniversary / holiday break. So per usual, I want to know, James, how did you spend your season break?
Sick, traveling, not sick, playing a gigantic, ginormous, inordinate amount of video games. Powered through my backlog quite a bit, and then got hooked on a roguelite. So yeah, I've been playing Rogue's Legacy 2. Took a break from that, beat Grim Grimoire once more, beat Forspoken, beat Hogwarts Legacy, beat Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, beat Final Fantasy XIII, the whole trilogy, beat Bahamut Lagoon, beat Seven Saga, beat Super Mario RPG, the old one, beat Super Mario RPG, the new one. I can keep going because there's about 57 other ones.
You can stop anytime you want because I'm just realizing my friend has an addiction and I'm very scared.
Well, I was alone for quite a big portion of the holiday, so I was like, I'm gonna make the most of my November into December. Did Christmas with Martha, which was awesome. But up until then, it was just gaming / basketball.
It was a revolving door. It was a revolving door of games. All right, that sounds like a pretty solid way. I mean, it also kind of sounds in line with, who the hell we are as people. We're dudes in our mid-30s who have a video game podcast. What else did you expect?
If you don't put in, I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude, we're all dude. If you don't put that in, you're fired.
This will be my last episode of the Games with Jon and James podcast. No. So I will tell you about how I spent my holiday break. So it was after our anniversary episode that went into the holiday season. So I had I was going through a training program. So I was doing ALS for people who know, but there also might be people who don't know because of the abbreviation of that. It was Airman Leadership School, so I was doing that and trying to further my career and learn how to mentor and all that other good stuff and learn how to be a leader, which was a lot of fun. Graduated that. I think it wasn't on my birthday. It was like it was in the first week of December. That's right. So after that, I felt pretty accomplished, and from there, I was preparing to actually go home to Oregon for the first time in years now, which was actually pretty phenomenal. What I usually do when I go home is I like to hit up all the game stores I like to go to. The one in Beaverton, there's one also down in Tillamook, which is off of the shore, and there's also one. There used to be, remember back in the day when like there used to actually be retro stores like everywhere, and they were great because you could find crazy stuff for really good prices?
You had a store on every corner. In 2024, you have a store maybe once a year.
Yeah, exactly. So there was a franchise, multiple locations, place called the CD Game Exchange, and they had them all over the shop, which was great. And their flagship store was on the east side of Portland, on the Hawthorne district. I made sure to hop a bus when I was actually in the city, and I went down there and picked up some nice stuff and added to my collection. Which we don't have video right now, but if you look over my shoulder, my PS2 game collection is up to about like 60 games strong now. So hell yeah.
Do you have a working PS2?
Yes, I do. It's actually, that's my OLED TV over there because I'm just describing my house at this point. But there's a CRT right behind me on the other side that has all of my retro consoles plugged in. So all the Segas, my Saturn, my Dreamcast, my PS2, which doubles as my PS1, my Wii, and I have a top loader like Nintendo Famiclone console, and I just recently got an Xbox, so I shouldn't have money. But yeah.
Hello, my name is John. Welcome to my crib.
Yeah, hell yeah, come on in. This is where the magic happens. But it's just been kind of funny how I've been trying to just recollect, because I used to own so many games, but because I didn't really have a whole lot of money as a kid, I had to trade games away in order to get new ones. So I'm pretty much just trying to reconnect with my old collection of stuff, and so it's just nice to have those games on your shelf, and it's a lot of fun.
So you have taken up the mantle of collector of this show, whereas I have cut back and I've taken the title of backlog destroyer.
Well, I think collector would kind of insinuate that I need to have a complete collection. So like,
No. Collector is whatever you make of it. You are getting games from your childhood that will not tear you in seven.
Yes, that's true.
I like how you thought about the tear you in seven.
Because I was just like, so would they be top heavy or no? But my most recent acquisition was the Wii version of the Captain America video game, because the Xbox 360 PS3 version was made by Next Level Games, and it was basically Captain America Arkham City / Arkham Knight, and that was pretty sweet. But the PS2, I believe it was the PS2 and the Wii version, also published by, I think, Sega and some other company. It's basically just a beat-em-up game, and I'm like, sweet, I love beat-em-up games, so I'm actually going to be playing that. It's going to be fun.
Oh my goodness. It sounds like we both had a pretty good holiday. And it also sounds
and I got to see my family too, and yeah.
Mom, Dad, you guys count. It's not just the games.
No, seriously, it was really nice to actually see them, because the last two Christmases, like two almost 3 years ago, that was when we were still in quarantine, so no one could go anywhere. And then the one before that was when I went to Brazil for Christmas. And so this was the first time I'd been home for Christmas in almost 3 years. So it was really nice.
Nice. I was in your neck of the woods for a bit. I was in Texas for 10 days.
I was going to say, I was in your neck of the woods. I was in Oregon. I saw you do those things. I'm like, oh, God.
And then I come back and sent John a photo this morning as we're recording. Hey, look, timestamp, ladies and gentlemen. It is a white wonderland here in Utah.
Of course it's a white wonderland. It's Utah. It's Salt Lake City.
Rude. I don't live there, but I'll allow it.
I'm trying to not dox you on the show. Calm down.
So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, you know how we roll. You're going to get a little bit of a musical interlude. We're a little rusty, so we've got some music we got to re-push out to you. John's going to work his finagly musically magic, and when we come back, what we are most anticipated and hyped for in 2024. And let me tell you, 2023 was the year of the gamer for RPGs, for action, for platformer, you name it. There were so many good games and DLCs that came out God of War, for crying out loud. I'm going to make this mention before we cut to break. God of War turned into a roguelike with their DLC. And you get a moment, and I don't care, I'm throwing the spoiler down. You get a moment with new Kratos and old Kratos, and it is awesome. Let's see if 2024 lives up to the next year of the gamer.
I want old Kratos to do what I want to do to new Kratos, which is kill him and replace him with younger Kratos.
Oh my god. Hey, we have to say, the new voice actor for this version of Kratos does a really good job.
Yeah. I always knew Kratos was black.
And with that, cut to transition. Bye-bye!
What if I just stop talking? Like, what if that just one episode, you do something like that, and I'm just like,
well, then I'll carry the show, and each time I see your face get more and more resigned to its fate, I'll throw in a Sonic Heroes.
I like how you didn't have the balls to say, I'll carry the show like I always do.
I mean, we can't let them know all the insider secrets.
No, inside baseball, no one likes that. We want to talk about video games, and we're gonna talk about video games, and you are gonna have to deal with it.
So I'm honestly gonna steal the thunder. I'm gonna go. So my most anticipated game of 2024.
I think I already know what it's gonna be.
It needs no introduction. We are finally getting to see what happens after Midgard with Final Fantasy Rebirth. Already pre-ordered, collector's edition pre-ordered. I am all in. This game, there's teasers, there's trailers, there's a whole bunch of stuff out for you to kind of see about the game. And it's coming out in February, which means more than likely sometime this month, we're going to get a playable demo, which is going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm. I am looking forward to seeing what crazy nonsense. I was almost said Nobuo Uematsu. No, Tetsuya Nomura is going to try to interject into this game, because I think it's okay to talk about it, spoilers and stuff. Seeing the hidden ending where Zack survives, I'm like, wait, what? Okay, well, let's see what happens. I probably will not play it, but I will happily watch someone else play it.
You played the first one, and you enjoyed the first one. I even made a video on you playing the first one.
A little bit. I enjoyed it for a little while, and then I got to the point where I got to, the church. I got to the slums, and I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, you need to... This is one of the most... So, for those of you who don't know, in OG Final Fantasy VII, we got one of the most visceral moments of our childhood with... Going to cutscene, Cloud sees Aerith praying, Sephiroth dropping from the rafters.
Sephiroth is raptors, and so now we need to do a supercut of Jurassic World with Sephiroth, and that will make that movie infinitely better. But yes, continue.
So he dropped from his raptors. Cue Velociraptor noise here, and
I'll use the Jurassic Park one. Yeah,
plunges sword through Aerith or Eris, depending on how you want to call her. English, Japanese.
It's like Ketchi all over again.
So I'm curious, now that we have better technology, better everything, like, what's that moment gonna be like? If you don't care about anything else, play this to see that moment, because this could be a brand new moment like that for gamers of this generation. And
I, mm, I'm actually going to predict it right now. I'm going to predict it right now. Aerith will live.
are you gonna back up this claim, or are you just gonna make a bold statement there, Cotton?
I am, I am making F and A, Cotton. No, I'm calling it right now, just because of all of the shenanigans that have gone on with this remake and all that stuff. They are going to have that scene happen, and it's going to be set up to be exactly the same, but then like Aerith will like move or get out of the way, or Cloud will intercept him or something, and she'll live. I am predicting that right now.
Oh, goodness. Well, I mean, it could be that. It could be something different. Who knows?
No, because Aerith is all like, I have useless materia. It's just like, what about this one that's like called body double? It's like, maybe that fake my own death materia. Like, who knows?
And we'll also see if people have learned their lesson, because so many people back in the day were just powering her through her limit breaks. Because, I mean, at one point she got a limit break that auto maxed somebody else's limit break. So it's like, oh, Cloud, you can kill him if you do Omni Slash. Bing, here you go.
I just like the idea of like, man, this person's going to be in my life. Oh.
But I don't know if you did it. I know my first playthrough, because I went in completely blind. God bless, no guides, no Netscape for ideas back in the day.
Wow, Netscape. Wow. I was a Net Zero kid, thank you. But what was it? I think I was like such a little kid at the time that I played Final Fantasy VII that I didn't have any of the girls in my party. It was just Barrett and Red 13 and me. It's like, okay.
I will wholeheartedly admit, when she left the party, she had all my good stuff, and I was just like, I hate this. Like, I had to.
It's like that line from that. It's like that line from that 50 Cent song. It's like, you should be in fucking love with me. Look all this flash shit you got.
Oh man, but no, the first one, love it or hate it, when it came out, pushed the PS4 Pro to its limits and beyond. And then we got Integrate for the PS5, where you could actually go through Yuffie's backstory, which I personally am a huge fan of, because there's so much history there that you have to, prior to this, you had to go to A to B to C to D to E to F to G just to try and piecemeal it together in your own head. And now that it is visually there, that I'm a sucker for good lore in video games. And I don't know, I think this is honestly, like, this is going to be game of the year. Like, glove off, okay. This is game of the year.
Okay. It was game of the year back when it first came out, so let's see if they can do it twice. But yeah, so that's your first pick? Okay. So now it's my turn for a most anticipated game. I would be hard-pressed to not mention this, because I am a huge apologist for anything Hideo Kojima, whether he's involved or not. And we got the shocking surprise of a full-blown remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 as Metal Gear Solid Delta. And the reason why it's the most anticipated for me is because I feel like that is the game that is the most celebrated and lauded of that Metal Gear Solid trilogy. But it's also the one that I have the weakest relationship with. I played Metal Gear Solid 1 to death when I was a kid, and Metal Gear Solid 2 was very similar. It went completely balls to the wall crazy with the story and just everything that happened in that game. But when the time came for 3 to come out, I was not as immediately excited. I was just kind of like, how is the stealth going to work outside? And you tell me I got to think about all this camo stuff and actually play a stealth game and not be told a crazy story about spies and stuff and robots? That seems weird. But the reason why I have a strained relationship with this game was because it was the night where I said, you know what? I'm close to the end. I'm going to beat this game. I'm at the final boss. I'm at Volgan and all that kind of stuff. And so I think, okay, it's a Metal Gear. That's the final boss, right? That game proceeds to go on for 6 more hours as you escape and try to run away on a motorcycle, and then Revolver Ocelot, you have a duel in an airplane, and like all this weird stuff that happens, and you of course have to kill the boss afterward. I'm just like, end! You've had 6 endings so far. Just pick one. And it drove me out of my mind. So I want to, I kind of want to feel like with this I can give the game the reverence that maybe it needs, so that maybe it can work its magic on me. I want to see what happens.
I enjoy it. Like, so I'm not the biggest Metal Gear fan. Like, I didn't even play Metal Gear Solid 1 until 10 years after it came out.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that they ended 3, where it was basically, and another one, and another one, and another
It was DJ
one.
Khaled. It was like another one.
Like, the way they ended it, I don't think it got justice back in the day. Because when you have that climactic moment, like you want to, and this is just my opinion for storytelling, you want to have that little bit of like fall back, kind of take it all in. Like, hey, I just had this ridiculous fight. This is awesome. Like, cue some story beats, set yourself up for your next one, right?
Yeah.
Well, this one was like, oh, you thought you were done? Let's spike your adrenaline some more. Oh, you thought you were done? We're going to spike it some more. Like, it kept going and going and going to the point that when it did end, you didn't know whether to sink back in your chair and just be like, oh my goodness, what a rush. Or just be like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
Like, there was no in between.
Yeah, that was me. That was me at the end, because unfairly or not, that was also the response I had to Death Stranding, because Death Stranding is a game that I finally completed like 2 years ago, and I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed the time with the game, but it did the same thing. It just had ending after ending after ending after ending, and I'm just like, pick something. Like, because Hideo Kojima, as like a creative, I think there are people out there who truly are auteurs and truly are geniuses and truly creative in all these aspects. But you know what also helps is having someone to be like the editor and just be like, why don't we tone that down? Why don't we dial this back a little bit? Why don't we just change that just a little bit?
Nobody can control the mind of Kojima.
Well, that's what Konami thought, and then, oh, now Death Stranding 2 is coming. So I want to see what those frickin', those haughty guitar-wielding red armor dudes are all about. But,
I mean, love him or hate him, we're about to get another completely ridiculous thing. I don't know if it's this year or next, but if you watch the Game Awards, you got the creepiest, like, weird, most abstract thing, even for Kojima, and then Jordan Peele walks on stage. Like, he is partnering with Jordan Peele on a video game that is supposed to completely mess with your senses and mind.
And it better have a Keegan cameo, or I'm going to be very upset.
We riot!
Exactly. But yeah, that is my first pick for most anticipated of 2024.
Well, before I mention my next pick, I have a very important question that I'm pretty sure all our viewers, well, I don't know if they really want to know, but I want to know. Did you ever beat?
Also, viewers.
Did you ever beat?
As opposed to listeners.
Hey, putting it into the ether, speaking future. Because we did make some big promises at the end of our anniversary episode.
And we are not delivering at all, and that's what makes us good podcasters. Anyway, what's your question?
Did you ever beat Final Fantasy 16?
Yes.
You actually did?
Yeah, I sent you the picture of me watching the credits.
No, you never did.
No, I swear, I'm going to go through my message history. But yes, I beat the game, and it was very nice. I remember getting and now you have New Game Plus, and you can play in Final Fantasy difficulty, and there's a part of me that's just kind of like, I wonder if that DLC is any good. Because they announced the DLC as well for that, and, who knows? Maybe I'll pick it up.
Yeah, so I'm going through everything, and... Oh, no, you did. You are safe.
See, this is good, because if you were going to continue holding this nefarious lie, I would have actually had to sue you for slander, but...
Did you get the DLC?
No, not yet. Because I decided to actually hold out and not watch the Game Awards this year, and so I only heard about the DLC. So I'll see how that goes.
So, well, I'm gonna have some fun with this second pick. I'm gonna mention something, and we're gonna see what John thinks.
I would hope so. I would hope that you would mention something.
When you hear about the developer Vanillaware, do you get excited, John?
Yes, I do.
And lately, all we've been getting is just like Odin Sphere remastered, Dragon Crown Pro remastered. We haven't actually really gotten a new Vanillaware game in a long time, right?
We got 13 Sentinels. I thought that was them.
It was, but that's very loosely a video game and very more so a visual novel.
A visual novel where, just like in every other high school audio drama, teenagers get naked. Anyway, continue.
They dropped a really awesome bomb in the sense that we are getting Unicorn Overlord with a definitive release date. And like March 8th, we get a brand new. Wait, are you immediately typing and looking at this right now?
I am because that name is too badass. Because I heard about this and I'm just like, oh, yeah. Oh, this is the Fire Emblem one. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, you're gonna play it, aren't you?
I like strategy RPG games. I like myself some frickin' what's it's called? Shining Force. That's the one. I like me some Shining Force. So who knows? Maybe I will, and I'll play it on easy mode like a bitch, and it'll be great.
So when I saw this, because it was of all places, it was in one of the Switch showcases that this was teased, and I was just like, you go, little Nintendo Switch that I won't get this game on, but you go.
Yeah, just waiting for the Switch 2 when that eventually comes out and it's still underpowered. But anyway.
We'll save it for the end, but apparently it was leaked with price as well.
Yeah, $70 games and a $400 price tag. Thanks, Nintendo.
But so this game, so it's a tactical RPG, like it's brand new world, like built from the ground up. And the overworld is completely explorable. So like if you want to be a Billy badass because you're like, I have the game mechanics down, you can just randomly walk to a harder area and engage things. Don't recommend it because that seems really bad, but hey,
so you'll get your ass kicked like a real Billy badass. Yeah.
So what I'm so excited for, so combat in the game, you move your troops across battlefields, and then when the units meet, that's when combat happens, and all of the combat is in real time.
About time. I think the real-time strategy game, like, those still get made, but I can't remember the last time I actually played one, so that would be a lot of fun.
Well, the reason why you didn't play the last one that came out was it was when Square Enix was using the same font for every single game, and it was when they released like 90 games. Is that
Triangle Strategy?
No, not Triangle Strategy. That was still grid-based. It was Dio Field Chronicle was real-time strategy.
Wow. I just want to do Command and Conquer, that's all.
I'm unbelievably hyped for this because for everybody that's been a fan of Vanillaware as a developer throughout the years, everything that they make is just artistically gorgeous. And they're one of the few people where it's not all full 3D rendered. They're still utilizing like everything is like drawn with love. And it's like in music, and this is going to be a random analogy, which will probably get a chuckle from John, and maybe you as a listener / viewer, because I'm going to coin viewer. When you hear DMX, you know it's DMX. When you hear Biggie, you know it's Biggie. When you hear Michael Jackson, you know it's Michael Jackson. Like when you see a Vanillaware game, you immediately know, boom, that's Vanillaware. Like when you see a game with that art style, it's definitively Vanillaware. And there are not a lot of companies in the video game realm that can do that.
You know what flavor you're getting. Kind of funny how they're named after a flavor. How about that?
Yeah, let's not go with that analogy because vanilla sucks.
Oh, we're going to actually fight for real. Holy shit. Okay.
What, is that your favorite flavor of ice cream?
It's not my favorite flavor, but how do you diss vanilla? Vanilla is like the salt in cooking, but it's for baking. It makes everything better. It accentuates flavors. It's delicious. Also, vanilla Coke? Come on, man.
Yeah, no. Cherry Coke.
Cherry vanilla. Cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper. Oh God.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. That's horrifyingly gross. Now we know what your gamer fuel is, and it's disgusting.
No, it's not. It's actually game fuel because it's back for a limited time, and I am living my best life.
And you bought an entire pallet of it, didn't you?
I can only find them in like 20-ounce bottles. I want to buy like racks on racks on racks of like just 12-ounce cans and shit, but I can't find them anywhere.
Oh my goodness. But honestly, like if so I will say last thing about Unicorn Overlord. It's coming out for every system. Switch, PS4, PS5,
The
Series
Xbox.
X.
Hmm.
So as gatekeepy as RPGs have been for the longest time, and when I say gatekeepy, they were mainly relegated to the PlayStation and the Nintendo. About 6 months into 2023, we started to see a just door open, and the Xbox was getting some love with RPGs. So I'm excited that if you don't own a Switch, if you don't own a PlayStation, and you own an Xbox, you're going to get to play this. If you only own a PlayStation, you're going to get to play this. Same for Nintendo. Like this is one of those games that Vanillaware has not made a bad game. Odin Sphere hit that, like Odin Sphere when it originally came out pushed the PlayStation 2 to its limits. And it was just gorgeous. When that remake came out, oh my god, chef's kiss.
Even better.
And then
I was a huge Dragon Crown guy, so yeah.
Dragon Crown was awesome. Like the replayability of Dragon Crown, man.
Yeah, I beat that game 3 times, so yeah.
Yeah, look, we have a victim right here, ladies and gentlemen.
A victim. I think you mean an addict. So,
I mean that's fair.
Yeah, because at least addict has at least a positive connotation that you like doing it. Okay, enough of that. But yes, so I think that's a solid choice for a second game.
Are you
solid pause? No, I'm not typing out anything. I'm looking through my list here of things that are coming out, and I was also kind of stuck on what you were saying about how RPGs are like coming to other consoles now. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's what's awesome about it, because just now even like all of the Persona games are on Xbox Game Pass. So there you go.
Yep, and hey, if you were lucky enough, since John mentioned Persona, if you got your hands on one of those limited run collector's editions of the new release of Persona 3 or Persona 4, awesome. Hat off to you.
Mm-hmm. All right, so my next most anticipated game of the year. I'm just going to wholly admit that when it comes to tabletop gaming and board gaming, like, I'm not the biggest fan of doing it. I think I appreciate what those games are more than I actually enjoy playing them, because I like the idea of having armies and campaigns and stuff like that, or painting figurines and making something your own. It's a fun hobby. It seems like a fun hobby for a lot of people who really enjoy it. So I admire it for that reason. However, because of things like what Games Workshop has done by making things like Vermintide or Darktide and most recently Bolt Gun, I have become completely enamored with Ultramarines. So my other anticipated game of the year is Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, because that looks, it looks gorgeous, like the graphic overhaul looks insane, but also big sweaty man with big sweaty bloody sword killing dudes is just fun. Have you ever played Bolt Gun, like the retro boomer shooter looking one, and like you have a taunt button? It's like, my contempt is my armor, and like, for the Emperor and stuff. Like, that stuff's just badass. So
I mean, you're speaking my lingo. At one point, I had a gold elf army in OG Warhammer, and then in 40k, I had a Space Marine army.
Nice. What Space Marines? What armor were they?
I don't know. I never got around to painting them because I moved and then ended up selling them.
Oh, like, I was like, because each one has their own different kind of colors of armor, and I just see like I'm so much of a freaking noob, but I don't care. But I love the black armor ones that are just like kill everything.
Oh, you mean the ones from the furry episodes where they're killing all the furries?
Yes, but they have a name, and I need to figure that out, or I'm going to look like a doofus. To whom?
They're furry killer marines.
Hold on. Now I gotta freaking find it. But
Oh,
Uh,
yes, my name is John and I'm going to the Googles. Ha ha ha
y-
ha.
yeah, I know how to use a computer, unlike you, because I had to tell you to plug in headphones.
Rude.
The Black Legion, the Chaos Space Marines, those are the ones. Hell yeah.
No, honestly, like if you look at any of the Warhammer games that have come out here recently, they have all been hits. You would enjoy all of them. And this is just kind of picking up on that success. Like I'm not a big with the amount of JRPGs coming out year in and year out, it is virtually impossible for me to deviate from the path at this point that I have put myself on, with the exception of
Hmm.
Madden or Worms Armageddon when I want a shooter.
You
Which
know what I actually, now that you said that, I actually need to I have to make a horrible confession. One of the games that I bought over the course of my acquiring period this Christmas was NHL 24. I
Aw.
bought an EA Sports game, and I'm like, God help me.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
It's in your balls. Anyway, P is stored in the balls. I want that voice. I want that guy to do that line read. I will pay him on Cameo.
You hear that? If you listen to our show, you're going to make $10 whole.
I'm going to pay more than that. He deserves it.
No, these games, for any of you who haven't experienced it, it is very rare for you to get so immersed into a game you literally feel like you're going around. And the level of chaos that they put in through combat, through the way the story progresses, they know, like the people behind Warhammer know how to get you vested. And here's my equivalent of it. If you enjoy old style Doom, if you like the chaos of Quake, if you enjoy the manic action of Call of Duty, all of that together, plus Duke Nukem level one-liners, you're going to love this game.
Yeah. I picked up Blood, Shooters, and Teeth the other year, and that was a lot of fun. I did play Vermintide as well for a little bit, even like old school Warhammer. That was fun too. I never played Darktide. I kind of want to though. But yeah,
Go
like
go pick it up.
yeah,
You're an
right.
adult,
But
buy it.
I know, but like I'm gonna save this for wrap up. But like one of the things I'm actually gonna try and do this year is do what you're doing and try to go through my backlog. But because I'm streaming again soon, so surprise everybody, I'm back to streaming. You'll see more about that, and I'll talk about more of that stuff later. Freaking one of the games I still need to beat is Stranger of Paradise. So yep, I'll probably be streaming that.
You Dorcas.
Look, man, I got the ending spoiled for me, and that completely killed any momentum to play that game. And I'm like, damn it! I wanted to figure out the story and actually play this game, but then it got spoiled for me.
But
I'm a victim.
I mean, just unplug from the internet.
I can't erase what I know, other than I mean, there are drugs that do that, but nah.
I mean, next time I see you, I'm going to hit you as hard as I can in the head, and we'll see if I rattle your brain to where that one memory you forget.
I'll just end up speaking Portuguese fluently, and I'll be like, sweet, perfeito.
Crocodice.
Nada. Okay, so that's my second pick, and so we're on to, you said you have 3 games that you're looking forward to this year, so I want to know, and the world wants to know now, what's that third pick?
So I'm going to ask you a question, John. When
Okay.
when a
We're
game
already off to a
company-
bad start.
when a company shows you something completely amazing, it looks breathtaking. Like when Death Stranding was teased, like even if you weren't a fan of Kojima, when that teaser trailer hit, you were vested, right?
To be fair, when I first saw Death Stranding, I was like, oh no.
But now you're like, oh yes.
Yes, I am now, but I had to play it, so.
So, Cygames released an amazing announcement back in August of 2016.
I think I know what this is going to be. Yeah.
For a game that was initially titled Grand Blue Fantasy Project Relink. And it was a collab it was supposed to be between Platinum Games and Cygames. So it has been teased and teased and teased and teased and teased and teased. And I think that was the amount of years for teases. And finally, February 1st of this year, We are getting this. This game, if you have watched any of the trailers, looks beautiful. I wish they could have released it earlier, but I am also a big proponent of, hey, if we release something that's going to be dookie, let's make sure it's not dookie. So I am all for companies making their stuff better. All for it.
Yeah, a delayed game is inevitably a good game. A rushed game is always going to be a bad game. Yeah.
Nobuo, so the best composer in all of JRPGdom, Nobuo Uematsu, and arguably one of the best video game composers of all time. He was brought on for this project as well, and getting to hear new and original music from him is just going to be amazing. If you've seen this game, so it is an action style RPG, like it is a grand fantasy, high fantasy style RPG. The world looks gorgeous. The combat that they've shown looks like it's boss combat, and it'll give you Shadow of the Colossus vibes with just the disparity in size between you and the enemy. It looks so smooth, and this game has been on my radar. Like, I actually heard about it in 2016 when I was very slowly going away from Magic the Gathering, going away from League of Legends and Heroes of the Storm, and starting to get back into console gaming. Like, I had heard it was really cool, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll get it next year. And now I can finally get it. I am so like beyond hyped. And what really sucks is in February, Final Fantasy Rebirth also releases.
So you're gonna have to choose. It's like it's like choosing your favorite children. This is James's choice.
Oh my gosh, I can't describe how, like, I am almost more hyped for this game than I am for Final Fantasy Rebirth. And John and all of you know, with how much I gush about my memories of Final Fantasy, that is a tall order.
Yeah, I'd be fair to say, yeah.
So my challenge for you, John, is to watch the trailer for this and tell me this doesn't even get you a little bit interested.
Oh no. On the scale of 1 to boner, I give it. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so we'll figure that out later. But yeah, okay. So if that sounds like a pretty solid list, it also kind of seems right up your alley in terms of, I mean, starting off with Final Fantasy was pretty much like expected. But yeah, so
the Vanillaware one threw you for a loop because you immediately looked when I said that word.
I completely forgot about it because I remember watching the direct, and sometimes your eyes just kind of glaze over when you're watching certain things. I was just like, oh, strategy RPG? Okay.
But now that you know it's by Vanillaware, admit it, you are probably going to give at least the demo a shot.
Yeah, when I hear it's like a company I like, that's when you kind of have me lean in just a little bit more, just like, keep talking. So, yeah.
I like it vanilla, and you're giving me vanilla? Oh, vanilla.
French vanilla. French kiss vanilla. Something, entendre, whatever.
Milli Vanilli. Okay.
Oh, God. Don't. That makes me sad. Don't make me talk about them. Okay. So, wrapping up, this will be my last most anticipated game. I might even throw an honorable mention. I don't know. But this one's a bit of a smaller time, smaller budget, smaller thing, but it still means a lot to me because the game that had came out previously in this franchise left a lot of people with a lot to be desired. And it sucked because when you get a new version of a franchise that you love and it's just not fun to play, that's one of the worst feelings in the world. I mean, first world problems, whatever. But what I'm saying is that there's a reason why this game is anticipated, the third most anticipated. It's made the list for me.
Oh.
And that is Contra. Operation Galuga, which is going to be like a remake of the first game with all new elements and new stuff in it. It's a new Contra game. And a new Contra game that's not a top-down shooter with limited ammo and having to reload. It's a side-scrolling shooting extravaganza made by WayForward. WayForward knows how to make good games, especially good games on a budget. So I am stoked for this. I want to play it. I want to play it with 2 players or multiple players. I don't care. I just want to play this big run and gun shooty action game because I love me run gun shooty action games. I want it.
To give you an example, into John's run gun shooty games, when he basically, it was what, your Sega Classic, right?
The Gunstar. You talking about Gunstar Heroes?
So John got Gunstar Heroes on a Sega Classic, and legitimately we went through it not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, like 5 times in a row. We found ourselves in that game, and it was enjoyable. You give John Run, he likes it. You give John Gun, he likes it. You give John Run and Gun,
Marry
he
me.
will kill for it.
I will marry me. Anyway. But yeah, so new Contra. A new Contra that looks like an authentic Contra game. Yes, please. Thank you. And I think with that, I think we can throw it to music and we can go to wrap up. What do you say?
Well, before we do that, honorable mentions. So when you think of Atlas, you think of Persona, right?
I do. I also think of Jack Frost, the little Muppety guy.
They actually are coming out with a from scratch brand new IP, completely deviated from modern times, and Metaphor ReFantazio.
What the hell is with these names?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just reading titles, dog.
Why do Japanese developers feel the need to make their games sound Italian?
That is a very good question. But that could be good or could be bad, because love them or hate them, they have rode the coattails of Persona 5 for the last 6 years. It is time for something new.
Yes, it is.
And the other two honorable mentions, and I know John's probably going to play maybe both of these. If you're a fan of the Yakuza series, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth comes out January 26th, and you get to play not only as the new protagonist, but the original protagonist, and it's not in Japan. It's in Hawaii.
It's good for them. What? They're branching out. Yeah, good for them. I find it so crazy that my only exposure or time playing the Yakuza franchise was the first game on PS2.
Well, time for you to branch out.
Yeah, I think so. I saw a man who erased his name, and I'm just kind of like, he's got a super laser watch that throws people. I kind of want to play with that. That looks fun.
Oh my goodness. And then my last one I'll mention. I'm not the biggest fan of Western RPGs. There's some I enjoy, but for the most part, if you talk to me, within 5 minutes of talking about video games, oh, hey, he likes this, this, and this. Okay, cool. Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yes.
Coming out in March 22nd. If you have not had a chance to play the first one, go do it. Because this one, if the first one was dialed to an 11, Dragon's Dogma 2 said, hey, hold my beer. I'm going to dial it up to a 57, and I'm going to make you want my game, regardless if you've ever played it or not. It looks amazing.
It's actually pretty true, because I missed the boat on the first Dragon's Dogma, because that was around here. Well, because when I first saw it, it looked like it was a weird competitor / adjacent thing to a blending of Dark Souls and Monster Hunter, which are two game franchises I just don't like, because I don't think that the feedback loop and the gameplay loop about those games isn't fun for me. But looking at this new one where it's just you go out into the wilderness and you beat up monsters, I'm like, that sounds fun. Let's give it a shot.
So that's it. I know it was 3 random honorable mentions, but I figured you would agree with at least Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yes. So I will do 3 honorable mentions as well. And they're going to be pretty rapid fire, okay? So, first honorable mention goes to the DLC coming to Splatoon 3 called Side Order. We're getting new single player, first player content for Splatoon 3, which is the stuff that I actually liked the most about Splatoon 3. I want more of that. So whenever that's ready to go, I am down to play it. Day one buy. I've already bought the freaking season pass anyway, so I might as well enjoy it. Number 2. From the creators of Sonic Mania, they are making their own original 3D platformer, Penny's Big Breakaway. And it's coming out on everything, and it looks adorable. It looks fun to play. It's got good graphics. It's got good musics. It's got good everything. You have a yo-yo, and you fly around and you slap people with it. It looks like a whole lot of fun. It's in the same way that Hi-Fi Rush was my game of the year last year because it reminded me of like a really solid 6th generation third party video game. Like when you picked up Beautiful Joe for the first time, you're like, holy crap, this is amazing. I am hoping for the same with this game. And finally, last but not least, I was going to say Contra again. Wouldn't that be funny? A bit lower.
It's in your ballpark.
Yeah, I know, but it's Contra twice. Done. No. This one is a bit more of a low-key one I'm excited for because when I first saw it, I thought it was interesting that it's even existing at all. But Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Metroidvania, Prince of Persia, that looks fun. I want to play it.
Hey, there's a franchise that needed some love.
It did, because we got Assassin's Creed, and then Prince of Persia was just like, so.
No. We got the Jake Gyllenhaal Prince of Persia movie, and then it was all she wrote.
Well, we also got a game based on that, and the movie was serviceable.
I don't count that as a game. That was hot dog water garbage.
I never played it, so I don't know. The whole point is there's a new Prince of Persia game coming out, and I think that's pretty sweet. And freaking Killmonger's the main character, so sweet. Are you trying to hypnotize me with that? Or see, this is why we need video, so you can just see the bullshit you try to pull on this. But anyway, yeah, those are our honorable mentions. And so with that, for now, I think we'll take it to wrap up. And first episode of the new year. We're going to talk about it a little bit. We'll see you after the break.
Dun 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 dun.
Blaze. Okay.
Oh,
what? Oh, wait. We'll be right back. I'm sorry. I just thought that was funny.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the cat's out of the bag. John does nothing while editing.
Look, we are unfiltered. We are uncut. We are unsnipped, unfiltered balls of chaotic energy. I was just like, how can I make this sound more sexual? Anyway, no. But yes, first episode of the new season and the new year. James, how are you feeling about it?
It's good to be back. It's good to be through over 60 games in my backlog. Oh my goodness.
How, in 2 months?
Mm-hmm.
God.
Well, I mean, so some of them, like Grim Grimoire once more. Like, even if you're a completionist, you're fully done with it in 15 hours.
That's still like a day. Like, that's still a whole day's worth of gaming right there.
I mean, magical things happen when you can telework as much as you want.
Wow, that is incriminating. I'm going to delete that for you. I'm going to save you, okay? No, but
they know about it, and they approve of it.
People need to be more chill in life and making me mad because no. But yes. So I have some announcements to make about the show and things adjacent to the show, and I gave you guys a bit of a teaser earlier, but I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna go balls deep into it and explain it all the way right away.
John's going hard in the paint.
I wanted to say that I want to put more effort into the show because I feel, as much as 2023 I feel like was a banner year for us in the show and us trying to, enhance things about the show, I think for me I need to start pulling a bit more weight. So what I'm doing is, as I'm sure you have seen, I'm putting it into the air right now. I made a whole new graphics package for us. So season 4, technically 5, technically 4, I don't care. It's going to have all new graphics and a whole new logo, and it's going to look great. Second, we have our YouTube page up, and that's a bit outdated, and it's been a bit neglected, which sucks. But what I'm going to be doing for this season is simultaneous uploads. So we usually upload episodes new to the show around 11 a.m. on Mondays.
What time zone is that? Because 11 a.m. is different for a lot of people.
I understand that. Let me get to that point. Central Standard Time, 11 a.m. is usually when new episodes go up across Apple Podcasts, Amazon, the whole shebang-a-bang.
And for those of you not in the US, that is -6 GMT.
Well, we do have international listeners.
I hope I quoted that accurately.
We do have international listeners. That was right. Anyway, so
wow.
I sometimes I forget just how far-reaching and how amazing this show is. So yeah. No. So
introducing Jon, Xenophobia Edition.
That's not what that is. That's just me being amazed. I'm not. It's like, oh my god, you're telling me that people in other countries listen to us? I'm suddenly racist. No, that's not what happens. Anyway, I'm doing simultaneous day uploads to YouTube. It might not be at 11. It depends on how quickly I can actually save out the episode to get it uploaded. But the point is that the YouTube page is no longer going to just be a ghost town. You will get the episodes on YouTube same day as everywhere else it is available. And last but not least, I have made it a New Year's resolution for myself to do what James has been doing and go through my backlog. And the best way I feel to do that is to stream. So I will be streaming, possibly on my personal channel as I wait to get set up with an official Games with Jon and James channel. I'll be sure to let people know, especially across Twitter, because it's still called Twitter. Frickin'. But yes, so I want to play more games, and I really just want to share all these experiences with you guys. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do. I did my first stream a couple of days ago with Sonic Dream Team, which is the exclusive Apple Arcade Sonic game. And it's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to play and a lot of fun to share that fun with others. So I want to do more of it.
You know what this means, right?
What?
Just throwing this into the ether, completely random. No preparation for you, no lube whatsoever. Games with Jon and James Discord coming to you guys here soon.
We'll just use the Podcasters United one. It'll be fine.
No. That is a separate entity, which, by the way, we are still members of Podcasters United, still writing articles on quitthebuild.com, which you can still read. One of mine is coming live on Monday, quitthebuild.com. Quitthebuild.com.
Every time we say that, we get $5. So, yay. Whatever. Okay, so I want to describe what he was doing to you, but I think we'll get banned. Never mind. So I think that's an episode, man. I think that's it.
We made a lot of it was a tall order with all the promises that we made on our hope for the future of this show. We've been here for over 2 years now, and like every show, like every production that has been around for a while, you have to grow, you have to evolve, you have to keep producing. And we're still going to come at you strictly auditorily, but we have a lot of really cool things that are happening, and we're getting in the gear, getting in the groove, shaking the dust off. It's 2024, year of GJJ.
What the hell is GJJ? No, I'm kidding. I think that's my favorite go-to joke. Is just like, it's like, oh, I was just hanging out with my buddy Luke. Who the hell is Luke? I mean, I'm asking. I'm sure everybody else is.
Yes, Skywalker.
No, he's a nerd. All right, stop playing with your pencil, and don't. Oh, he made it look like a wiener. This is what I'm dealing with. You're going to be able to see this for the first time ever when we decide to actually do it. Won't that be great? Anyway, I don't know how to do outros anymore, James. What do we do? I think I just have to say, I'm Jon.
And I'm James, and we can't fully leave just yet, so you can't say the next line. You, as Jon said, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. We are everywhere. YouTube, this will actually be uploaded simultaneously along with our Spotify and everywhere else. We are on TikTok at Games with Jon and James, and Instagram at Games with Jon and James. Facebook, we are everywhere. There's been a hiatus on all of those. Obviously, we've been on a very extended winter break. So please stay tuned to all of those, because all of those are also kicking it into high gear in 2024.
True that. And you can find me on Twitter at Games with J and J, and I will continue to not know how to do social media, but I'll still have fun trying. So, yay.
So now, I'm James.
I'm Jon, and this has been the first episode of the new season of Games with Jon and James. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
You like how he didn't include the number of that season? And with that, hasta luegos.
Season 7, right? We already jumped to 7. Cool. Anyway, bye, everybody.